What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Wishing you guys a that looks weird. My skin looks weird. Hold on. I'm gonna take this I'm gonna take this I'm gonna take the JD Vance filter off. Right now it got me on my JD Vance. Hold on, let me take the JD Vance off. Camera. Touch it. Yeah. All right, the JD Vance is off. All right, the JD Vance is off. This is au naturel right now. Shout out to Nadine Brito. I was sitting there watching the comments and I saw she's on her first live. Shout out to you, Nadine. Welcome, Shannon. Welcome. Oh, Michigan. Oh, Michigan. What did I drag Michigan for recently? Michigan about to get it. Oh, I think it was two reasons. I dragged Michigan twice. Neither one of them aired yet. So I got the police releasing the body cam footage, helping the nachos in Cincinnati. That one might drop tomorrow if it clears, and which I feel like it might not. So I have to get an alternate, which is I'm working on that. That happened in Ohio, but then I'm like, okay, so Michigan, y'all up, only for y'all to turn around. Did y'all see what's that lady's name? What's that lady's name? McClain, Lisa McClain. Y'all see Lisa McClain out here talking about it's Democratic groups organizing all the opposition that they've been seeing and all these MAGA representatives? That's y'all, Michigan. She called all y'all out. She said, ain't no good MAGA gonna be complaining about losing their benefits. I don't believe in that. Ain't no veteran MAGAs, ain't no farmer MAGAs, no MAGAs on SNAP, no teacher MAGAs. Nobody, only Democrats been affected, apparently. That's all they willing to hear. So yes, Michigan, I'm coming for y'all. Welcome, Marjorie. Welcome. Thank you for being a member. I love that photo too, by the way. Shout out. Oh, welcome. There's Free Me. Welcome, Shirley. Or Shirley. Lavender. Well, welcome, Miss Lavender. Couple things before I dive in, because we're gonna have a hell of a theme today. I named this video Media Blackout, and I got a whole theme. Miss Ray, they don't know about me. Miss Ray. Media Blackout. I got a whole theme. Just you wait. Okay. Before I get going on that, I owe an apology. We got off the rails last week when they asked me my top 5 songs, and you can feel free to throw in some suggestions to get off the rails this week. Feel free to, if we can weave an off the cuff conversation around all this real stuff that I want to get off my chest. But if you want to get us started with an off the rails conversation, get us off the rails. I forgot who it was got us off the rails, but we were talking about my top 5 songs of all time. And for the record, Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve, Landslide by Stevie Nicks, Fire and Desire by Rick James, The Lady of My Life by Michael Jackson, and Everybody Loves the Sunshine by Roy Ayers. Yeah. I would like to officially apologize to A Hard Rain Is Gonna Fall. I gotta apologize to A Hard Rain. A hard rain is gonna fall. I would like to officially apologize to A Hard Rain Is Gonna Fall. I am a member of SAG, and we got the screeners for the voting on the SAG Awards, and I was watching the movies to prepare for, you know, so I know what everybody been putting out. So I watched A Complete Unknown, which is like a Bob Dylan biopic. Timothy Chalamet just won the SAG for that. Fire. And I don't mess with no biopics like that. Ever since Chadwick Boseman played James Brown, biopics ain't really been hitting like that. You know what I mean? Who you gonna play that's gonna hit Chadwick Boseman as James Brown? Are you gonna match that? You know what I mean? He kind of ended the genre for me. You know, Chadwick kind of ended the genre for me. But then we hit Timothy Chalamet playing Bob Dylan. Amazing. He did amazing. And by the way, Bob Dylan, a real one, this dude played at the March on Washington. I didn't know that. I knew he was a real one. Apparently, he wanted to marry one of the Pointer Sisters, but she wouldn't go for it. They kicked it, but apparently she wasn't. She was like, "We don't have no combs for you back home. Yeah, we ain't gonna be able to do nothing with that. So I'm sorry, we can't." My daddy told me I can't bring nobody home and we don't have no combs for them upstairs. So my bad. Them's the rules. So I knew that he was a real one. I didn't know that he actually played at the March on Washington. So shout out to Bob Dylan for that. I don't know what song I kick out. Not Landslide and not Everybody Loves the Sunshine. Those are the top two. Those are my favorite two songs ever made by anybody at any time. Everybody Loves the Sunshine and Landslide. Another thing I have to say is when I gave you my top three artists, it was Nirvana, Bob Marley, and Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson did get a song in the 5 in The Lady of My Life. But the reason why they don't have so many, the reason why I love Bob Marley so much and I love Nirvana so much, they're not represented. What do I pick? Honestly, like, what do I pick? What do I pick? Literally everything out of Bob Marley or Kurt Cobain's mouth is like an 8.5 or better to me, to my ear. So, like, you know what I mean? What do I pick? So they kind of are excluded from this whole conversation. So I will say that. Somebody said they went and saw Nirvana live. Okay. All right, DJ. Shout out to that. That would be dope. That would be real dope. The In Utero album. Melissa, I am in the minority. I do prefer In Utero. But so I got that out the way. The other thing I wanted to say, any you guys ever been in a room for a long period of time and you leave the room like to go to the kitchen, run to the mailbox, something like that, and you come back into the room, and as soon as you walk in, oh, is this how I've been living? Oh my gosh, something's wrong with me. I gotta change my whole diet. And I gotta change my clothes because this is inhumane. Living like this. I'll be honest. That has happened a number of times with the same room, which is the one I'm in right now. I don't know what's going on. But I'm looking into it. I'm looking into it. I might have to change my whole lifestyle. I'll be honest. I might have to change my whole lifestyle So somebody done pooted. I appreciate that. By the way, I'm gonna start sweating too because it's hot. I have winter energy because that's what I've been working during the winter. So I'm used to just exuding, I'm used to just riding the wave with no recourse. When it comes to summertime, we get a little bit more, what I mean? You gotta pull back a little bit in the summertime. You can't be doing all of this in the summertime. But I'm used to that now because it's February but it happens to be 60 degrees. So I'm gonna let you know your boy is gonna sweat today. Wayne, welcome, Wayne. EWF System of Survival 1980 is perfect for today. Okay, I gotta check that out. I'm always about suggestions. I love a good suggestion. TP, much appreciated. Thank you. Hope all's well out in Germany. South Carolina has an anti-DEI bill on the table that you have to check out. Doing everything we can down here to fight, but they keep rigging the game. Hashtag exhausted. Yes, they do. And I will absolutely check that out. I know Regina is listening. So no, we'll be on that. Thank you, Steph. I appreciate that. Ken, welcome. Welcome, Ken. I appreciate that. Thank you. Tips for you. Much appreciated. Tips for you. Thank you. Now, what up, supervillain? Shout out to my man's in there. And first time live to Jacqueline. Thank you, Jacqueline. Welcome. Okay. I called this video media blackout. Now, let's start here. Obviously, as I'm sure most of you are aware, they have canceled Joy Reid's show on MSNBC. It kind of goes without. I don't know Joy Reid. I don't have a relationship with Joy Reid. When that is not the case, I will let you know when I actually do know somebody. Because I'm going to keep it a buck with you and let you know if I'm speaking out of self-interest. Unlike a lot of y'all out here, and I don't mean y'all, but I just mean media in general, protecting friends and relationships and whatnot. I got no relationship with Joy Reid. I will just say that her show was extremely useful to what I do. Their producers put things together the same way that I would put things together. She draws a lot of the conclusions that I would draw. I learned a lot from watching her show. And there was a lot of times I would put things together or be thinking about ways that I can go with videos. And I watch a segment of Joy Reid and they literally kind of constructed it the way that I would have constructed it. So it's been extremely useful for me. So it's going to be a loss in that regard. But it's also a loss not to, I was going to say not to have her voice. We still have her voice. But for her not to have the platform that she had at MSNBC. Now, it's an interesting choice from MSNBC's perspective. And I don't really follow ratings and all that kind of stuff because it's hard to know what's real and what's not. They love to lie about ratings just to try and dunk on us and make us look bad. They love to do that. I know when the NBA ratings were bad, all of a sudden woke was go woke, go broke. But when the NFL ratings were also bad and took a hit over the pandemic, what was that? Everybody was quiet. NASCAR ratings plummeted because they went woke. Huh? Because NASCAR went woke. Is that what we go? Because that's why the NBA's right. So can't be no other reason. They love to try and use that for their own narrative. So I don't necessarily. So I don't know. Maybe the ratings were bad. I don't know. I know the people. I know that I watched it, and I know that people I know watched it. And it seems like people in this circle watched it. So we're not everybody, but I know people watched it. What makes it a curious decision is that the initial knee-jerk thought is, well, we know that Trump has been pushing the media to, to be state-run mouthpieces or state managed mouthpieces. We see what they're doing with the White House press corps and things of that nature. We see about how he's trying to bully and threaten media, all in the name of free speech, right? All in the name of free speech. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it is wild how low the bar is today for the kinds of arguments that are being made. And I can say this because it's top of mind because I literally just recorded this. But Lisa McClain, the one out in Michigan, if you saw that little stunt that she pulled, is talking about how, oh yeah, the people that showed up to boo and who showed up to these town halls, these are people who want a bloated government. These are people who want to maintain the status quo of a bloated government because it's not possible to be affected by these cuts or to have a problem with the world's richest man having access to our data with no oversight and getting new contracts like the FAA just gave SpaceX. It's not possible to have a problem with any of those things unless you just want to preserve a bloated government. Like it's, I don't know if maybe it's because I'm older. Maybe I'm wiser. I probably am older and wiser. I'm not older. I'm not that much older and that much wiser to be able to see through this. Try harder. I can't believe you would even get up there and throw that out. Like, anyway, that just came to mind because I'm talking about the Elon Musk and Donald Trump mission to preserve free speech. JD Vance going and getting on a whole plane, going over to Europe to tell them about free speech while they're threatening media members and celebrating people getting fired on Truth Social, like private citizens. I mean, the bar, it's underground. The bar is underground. The bar is underground. And quite frankly, MAGA, you should be offended. You should be offended. They are telling you you can't see through, Anyway, all right, let me keep going. So the natural knee jerk, right? The natural knee jerk when something like that happens is, well, they are kowtowing to the White House. They're going right wing, right? But then they apparently are replacing Joy Reid with Simone Sanders and Michael Steele. And I know Michael Steele is I don't know if he still considers himself a Republican, but I know Michael Steele has like right-wing ties, or not right. Michael Steele has conservative ties. He should be the chair of the RNC and all that. But he's one of the loudest voices criticizing Trump, other than Jasmine Crockett. Fuck off. I don't know if y'all saw that. Raise your hand if you saw that. I'm distracted. If I know that was quite jarring if you have no idea what I was talking about, but whatever. So I'm expecting Michael Steele and Simone Sanders, because I've caught some of their show on the weekends. I've used it occasionally. Matter of fact, I just used it for my last Jasmine Crockett video. I just used it. So their kind of ethos, their level is set at Joy Reid level. I'm not expecting nothing different from them than I would expect of Joy Reid. So it doesn't stand to reason that that decision was made because of some shift in political ideology. Well, if there's not a shift in political ideology, then, Joy Reid is one of the best people you could have in that spot. So now you have, as so many of you guys have put into the chat, so many of you guys are antagonized. You don't want to watch MSNBC. But I believe Simone Sanders and Michael Steele are going to give us more what Joy Reid gave us. Now you could just be like, all right, well, I'm not watching them out of spite because I'm bad about MSNBC, and that's fair enough, and that's all well and good. But if you turn it off MSNBC, what you watching? CNN? You want to watch your boy Scott just lob grenades on Abby's show while she quietly moves from topic to topic? It begs the question too, because there's been this conversation, and this is where I go with media blackout, right? It begs this conversation about how real you keep it, right? How real you keep it, because it seems like if you look at the people that have been dismissed from these kinds of positions, it has been the one that has drawn the most ire of the right wing, which quite frankly means you did your job. You did your job. But there's this idea of how real to keep it. And it kind of reminds me of when I was coming to DC to host a news show, right? Back in 2017, I came to DC to host a news show. And my thought was, I want to be so much different than current anchors, especially local anchors generally are, right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the black people be on Fox News. Okay, that's a 1. Harris Faulkner is a 1. Harris Faulkner is at a 1 in terms of keeping it real. Okay, and that brother they have over there, they are 1 in terms of keeping it real. The people, everybody who you saw in frame when Terrence Williams did this, I look good in the red. When Terrence did that at the White House, okay. When Terrence did, I look good in the red. When he did that at the White House, okay, everybody who was in frame for that, okay, they are a 1. You have them at a 1. A 10 would be a conversation with your mans in the back of a bar somewhere or at a barbecue. It ain't at work. And that's the point that is a distinction that I want to make. That is a distinction that I want to make. It is not at work. People like, oh, well, they didn't keep it real. They didn't keep it real. Okay, maybe they didn't keep it as real as you wanted them to keep it, but nobody keeps it all the way real. Stop it. In fact, y'all don't keep it all the way real. You know why? Because nobody acts the same way at work that you do at home. Nobody does. This ain't about being a media member. This is about being a human being. Ain't no way you act in the same way in the break room, on the floor, that you act at the crib. Nobody does. Okay? And that's not even a black thing. That's just a human being thing. Nobody does. Okay? So you don't get 10. If you get a 10, you getting fired immediately. You ain't keeping that job. So that's a tactical mistake. That is what they call a tactical mistake. Okay, if you hit 10, that's not wise. All right. So when I came to DC and I said that I want to be, a little bit different, I want to differentiate myself, the question becomes, what number do I want to hit? What number do I want to hit on a scale of 1 to 10? I cannot hit 10. I'm damn sure not going to be 1. So where am I going? The bar is probably set at 3. Like the status quo is probably 3. They don't really say much or nothing, right? That's where the status quo is set. So you could try and go for like an 8, right? You could try and go for like an 8 and just shock the system and be way different, but you're going to draw a lot of attention to yourself and you may not last as long. You could say, oh, you know what? I'm going to do a 6. I'm going to do a 6 and I'm not going to be as out there, but at least I will last long enough to be able to try and influence some people. Okay. Now, I'll also say, depending on what platform you are, you have different freedoms, right? I have different freedoms on YouTube than I would have had. I can be a higher number here than I can be when I was on the news. Okay. I ain't no 9. The closest out, the highest number you will get from me would be behind the membership page. So when I have a membership conversation, sometimes like that's the highest number you will get from me, right? And probably for most people. But generally it's pretty high. Here, it's pretty high. I have different freedoms here, right? It's interesting to me that the people who we have found to be the most valuable in this media space, the people who we really feel were saying the thing that needed to be said, end up being the ones in this position, which leaves us with the rest, who we have different feelings about, but also then have to represent because, you know, that is, and I'm not casting aspersions on anybody. I happen to think Laura Coates is dope. I think Laura Coates is dope. Abby, you guys know where I'm at with Abby. Abby from the area, she's PG County, respect. I got my issues with the way, I think my issues with that show might have more to do with the producing of that show. You can't have Scott. That's the Scott Jennings show. That's the Scott Jennings show is what that is. And I'm just talking about people I'm just talking about the melanated people. There are lots of allies that I rock with hard. I rock with Chris Hayes heavy. Chris Hayes is that dude to me. I rock with Alex Wagner, although I think she just got made to be a reporter now, right? I rock with Alex Wagner heavy. Okay. I rock with her heavy. I rock with I won't say I rock with her heavy. I'm not gonna say I rock with her heavy. That's a mischaracterization. But that's with Caitlin Collins. Y'all know that's with Caitlin Collins. Yeah, she doing her thing. She doing. I'll tell you this. If I was a right-wing congressman, senator, whatever the case may be, and I wanted to sell my BS, and I was trying to choose a platform to sell it on, my last pick would be Laura Coates. My next to last pick would be Caitlin Collins. They not for the BS. They not for the BS. Respect to them for that. Now, I do want to play this video. Sasha, just real quick. She doesn't stamp out the BS nearly as quickly or as hard or as heavy as she should. That's why. That's the mostly. I think she gets Scott Jennings be running over her on her own show on a nightly basis. That's why I called it the Scott Jennings show. All right. Let me play something for y'all.
MSNBC's Joy Reid has just signed off on her final show for the Readout.
Happy Monday,
everyone, and we begin tonight with what I think is the question.
The network canceled the show over the weekend, but it's not the first time a prominent black host has become a casualty in the cable news world. MSNBC canceled the Melissa Harris Perry Show in 2016 and canceled the Cross Connection hosted by Tiffany Cross in 2022. And CNN removed longtime anchor Don Lemon in 2023. It's always the voices who are unafraid to speak truth to power who end up being silenced. So what do we do? As Joy Reid said in her final show,
when you are in the midst of a crisis, and specifically a crisis of democracy, how do you resist?
The first rule is to fight back.
That the most important thing, the first rule, is to fight back, to never stop resisting.
Here's 3 quick ideas to resist. Number 1, turn off the TV. If you don't like a decision a network makes, stop watching. Mind you, I'm not saying to tune out of the news. Get your news somewhere else. Stay informed, but be intentional about the news sources you patronize. Don't just turn on the TV news as background noise. Tune in strategically. Now that Joy Reid is gone, that leaves CNN's Abby Phillips and Laura Coates as the only black solo host on primetime cable news. Number 2, follow black media leaders on multiple platforms. Joy Reid has a ubiquitous social media presence. You can find her on Blue Sky, Substack, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and other platforms. Tiffany Cross co-hosts Native Land Pod with Angela Rye and Andrew Gillum. And Don Lemon hosts The Don Lemon Show on his own YouTube channel. Go like, follow, and subscribe to them now. And follow other black journalists, opinion leaders, and content creators who are not as well known. Watch black YouTube channels, subscribe to black Substack pages, circulate your black dollars with the actual black people who are spending time delivering important news to you. This is full-time work for many of us, and most of us don't get a salary from a TV network or a newspaper to produce the content that you enjoy. Black American consumers control $2 trillion in buying power, and we set the trends for the culture. And number 3, support black media. I'm making a distinction here between black journalists who may or may not work at a mainstream news outlet and actual black media, which is black-owned and black-focused. In moments like these, I always remember Derek Bell's famous interest convergence theory, that the interest of blacks in achieving racial equality will be accommodated only when it converges with the interest of whites. Let's be real. None of these white-owned media companies care about black people. I was a contributor at CNBC for 8 years and CNN for 5 years, and I worked with MSNBC in years past. And there are good people at all those networks. But the decision makers, even when they bring in black people for prominent positions, are not motivated by racial justice. They're motivated by money, and their primary goal is to satisfy their investors and advertisers who are overwhelmingly white. If there's a so-called racial reckoning and they can make a quick buck with black hosts and contributors, they will. And if they can make $2 by dumping one of us, they will do that too. The American news media is a business, and businesses in this country exist to create profit. That means the most effective point of leverage we can use to target them is the power to make their media not just unpopular, but unprofitable. As Joy Reid said in her final show,
Thank you for holding us down. Almost 5 years, we are a toddler, and we out in these streets in this world, and we are not going to stop.
Use your power wisely.
All right. Okay, I hit the wrong thing. My bad. He said a lot of real stuff in that video. Thank you, C.R. Smith. I appreciate that. He said a lot of real stuff in that video. Although I'm way behind on these messages. So let me land this. He said a lot of real stuff in that video. One thing that he said that I felt like if there was a takeaway, it was a lot of takeaways, but where he ended that, where he talked about how you have to look at the motivations of the entity that you are entering into partnership with. I don't know why this is not something that everybody does on a regular basis, but like, for instance, if MAGA would have looked at the motivations of, I don't know, Elon Musk, if you would have looked at what his motivations might be, anyway, just common sense. You have to look at the motivations of the entity that you are entering into partnership with, right? So in the media space, you know that these conglomerates exist to make money. And we also know that when you go up the chain, you are dealing with people who have a vested interest in maintaining status quo because the status quo has served them quite well. If it didn't, I wouldn't be on their platform, right? This media platform, right, wouldn't exist with the ability to amplify my voice if the current state of affairs hadn't served them well enough in order to provide it, and for it to be useful and beneficial to them for me to be here, right? I would only say there's some exceptions, right? There's always exceptions. There's some exceptions, right? If you have something that's independently owned and they are somebody that believes in, you know, a reconfiguration of wealth and an equity of justice, and they're willing to put their money on that, you know. I'm not saying there can't be exceptions, but generally speaking, that's what you're dealing with. So you got to understand, you enter as a, to that question that I asked about what number you want to hit, you also have to keep in mind what number is going to be problematic to them, right? A 7 might feel good to you, but that 7 might be that funny bone for that entity that makes them want to bury you. Whereas you go down to a 6, you last forever. You don't say as much of the things as you want to say, but if you last 10 years longer, 5 years longer, you're reaching a whole hell of a lot more people. This is just all things that have to be considered, right? All things that have to be considered. And these are all like, these are calculations that get made on a dime, instantaneously. It's almost like when we walk into a room and you're trying to figure out exactly. It's like code switching math. It's like code switching math. You're trying to figure out, all right, exactly how much, in my opinion, do I feel comfortable revealing here, and how am I going to express that? These are decisions that get made in an instant, but there's so much information that gets weighed in order for you to make that call, right? It's the same thing with media. I will say also, I had half a mind to go in. I almost made a video. I almost reached out to Regina. I was going to make a video going in on. Oh wait, I got distracted by my video. I got distracted by my messages. I apologize. Thank y'all so much for sending me these messages. Y'all know I'll be getting distracted. My bad. Elise. Okay, to add to Regina, Arkansas's rollback affirmative action. Thank you, Elise. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mitch MC, thank you. Much appreciated. Mimi, yes, they do. We will see how close we in fact are to that. Giggles, you were pretty funny today in the premiere. They let Katie Fang go today. It seems like they want to get rid of women of color. By the way, I also forgot about Lawrence O'Donnell and Rachel Maddow. They don't really count though. They're like professors in this game. I love Rachel Maddow, by the way. I will just tell you that. I love me some Rachel Maddow. I won't hear no Rachel Maddow slander no time. Larry, I appreciate it. I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate it. Larry been killing. I think Larry done sponsored this whole week. Eugenia, thank you so much. Thank you, Eugenia. Asia, welcome. The Skipper doll. The Skipper. She can't even be Barbie. She's Skipper. Y'all remember? Y'all old enough to remember Skip It? Y'all remember Skip It? Y'all kids don't know. We used to have a ring around our ankle. We used to have a ring around our ankle with a stick and a ball attached to it. And they just told us to hop around on that for hours. And then they made you pay for it. You had to go to the store and pay for a ring around your leg with a stick and a ball. Skip it. The Skipper Dog press secretary announced it will select what press will be able to ask questions. So that's what I'm saying, right? Y'all know how I say pick me behavior is never rewarded. I'm about to go in on Byron Donalds. Matter of fact, I already did. I went in on Byron Donalds. That video will be coming shortly. Y'all know what happens. Y'all know what happened. Y'all didn't think I was gonna let them embarrass Byron like that, and I wasn't gonna say nothing. Y'all didn't think I was gonna let them embarrass Byron like that and wasn't gonna say, oh no, Byron got a video coming. Now, we say pick me behavior is never rewarded. I've said it. Pick me behavior is never rewarded because you drop the bar lower and lower for the amount of degradation you are willing to accept. You have conveyed to them they don't have to respect you. So they don't up and just decide to. So when y'all decided that y'all was going to leave the AP out there twisting, now look at you. You decided you was going to let the AP take the L because they didn't want to call it Gulf of Mexico. Now look at you. Congratulations. You played yourselves. It's going to be people with it's going to be YouTube pages. It's going to be YouTube channels that started on Thursday going to get into the White House before y'all because you didn't have to quote Jesse Waters, big balls enough to stand up for yourself, to stand up for your profession, to stand up for media, and to stand up for the country. You didn't have enough. Now look at you. And I don't care, quite frankly. And I'll tell you why. This was the other way you played yourselves. You know, nobody wants attention. Nobody wants to dominate the news cycle more than this dude. Nobody wants to dominate the news cycle more than this dude. Nobody wants attention more. That's why he's at the game. He's at he's at the race. Now he's giving a press conference. Nobody wants to be in front of your face more than this dude. You had the opportunity to starve him of that. But you were so scared, whether it be his retribution or whether it be, and by the way, the reason why you might need to fear his retribution is because you picked Meade up to this point. Because you picked Meade up to this point and you gave him that kind of power. That's why you have to be scared now. Whether you were scared of his retribution or whether you didn't want to give up any of that good Trump, attention money, right? That Trump news cycle money. You want to be a part of whatever he had going on. You didn't want to give that up, and then you picked me. Now you're outside. I don't care, quite frankly. I mean, I care from a media standpoint, from a health of the media standpoint. I care, but I'll be honest. We already know the level of. I mean, I'm never going to get through these comments. I'm sorry. I'm never going to get through these comments because I'm just off it running. We already know the level of misinformation and misdirection that they're willing to engage in. We already know that. So why is what he's trying to tell me from the Oval Office significant? It might be the first president, to me anyway, right? I guess I've not been old enough to have a wide range of people to choose from. He might be the first president where what he says is completely irrelevant. Totally irrelevant. He did that. He did that. But you just had to be. We gotta make sure we up front for Trump. All right. At least it was just announced. What else? North America, one like North Korea. Yeah, it's just going to make the coverage nonsense. It's all going to come. I mean, all right, you know. I mean, I will. We'll see. Nancy, thank you, Nancy, thank you. Dallioops, thank you. I like that name. That's good. Daria's World. La 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 la. Wasn't that Daria? Her name was Daria, right? La 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 la. Daria. It's better than Cedar's World, I tell you. If it was Cedar's World, if you were Cedar's World, you would have got blocked. I'm sorry. I can't risk having Cedar's World on my live. Larry, thank you. I appreciate that. Larry doing his thing, man. Larry's still making it right. They did the same thing. That Don Lemon did. Yeah, they did her a favor. Oh, you know, Don is doing his thing. So, which, by the way, I need to reach out to him. Oh, I need to reach out to him. Don't let me not do that. I care too. I appreciate you. Reese, you should be a guest on one of the other shows because you definitely know how to get the attention of the audience if you need a great voice. Yes, I will. Like I did mention that. I have mentioned that before. I want to start reaching out to some other collaborators and try and work with them on some stuff. Cascart, thank you. I very much appreciate that. Thank you, Cascart. Shout out to Fairmont Heights, class of 04. Can we discuss South Africa, Cape Town Mafia, and their family connections to Nazi Germany and apartheid? Well, I did see, I think Regina sent me a video or an article about South Africans. So when they first said that the South Africans were trying to open up refugees, and shout out to Fairmont Heights too, shout out to PG County. When they said that they were going to open up refugee space for the South Africans, at first they were like, nah, we good. We still got all the land. So, you know, we don't really, like, we're good. Which tells you something. When the group that you said was disenfranchised was doing so good, they didn't want to come here and be white in America. That's saying a lot. That's saying a whole lot. Would you like the opportunity to come over and be white in America? Nah, this white in South Africa still. This still. Man, I think we're gonna ride it out with the 80% of the land. Yeah, I think we're just gonna ride this out. I think. They sent me an article that said that apparently the ones that didn't have the land are trying to come over. The failed Afrikaners want to come over here and try again and see if they can't make this white thing work here across the pond. And they probably will. If they're able to make it, they probably will. Salima. Well, thank you, Salima. El Gato, I appreciate you. Very, very much. El Gato, religious premiere viewer. Robin, as always, I very much appreciate you. Arstellus, thank you. Martis, welcome. Kitsu, welcome to you. Welcome. Snack Panther, love the name. Thank you so much for that. Snack Panther is strong. Michael, rest in peace to the great Jerry Butler. Touche. I appreciate you dropping that there. Felinda, I am. Thank you, Felinda. Thank you. Kitsoon. So not only did Kitsoon join, Kitsoon immediately went and give that. I mean, that's what you call pay it forward. Yeah, that's paying it forward. I appreciate that. The Eagle. Oh, I gotta remember that. They sure did. I gotta remember to put that in a video somewhere. One of the things that I like to do, hold on, Eagles. One of the things I like to do is have little like bits and odds and ends, and that's where I remember where to go in the video. I did see that. I don't want to go down a whole rabbit hole with that, but I will say this. The Eagles turned down the White House last time they won the Super Bowl. And I would have did a whole live about this. I really would have done a whole live about this at the time. I was so in my feelings. And that's why I got to feel grateful that I have this platform right now. I will try and condense it down to this. I was born in D.C. and raised in PG County. I have been a fan of what used to be the Washington Redskins, which is now the Washington Commanders. My whole life, there's pictures of me with a John Riggins jersey, probably no more than 3 years old, right? Still to this day, my favorite player, right? I have loved that team. The colors of the uniform does something to me viscerally, okay? I love that team. My team was taken over by a man who was so in the mold of Donald Trump, and he predated Donald Trump and Dan Snyder. He would try and manipulate the media. He would try and gaslight the fans. He was all about perception, right, over what he was doing. He would find ways to squeeze money out of fans and erode their loyalty. You name it, he did it. And he, little by little, let air out of the bucket of love and reverence that I have for this franchise, which brings us to the Eagles, a team that has been a rival my entire life. The Eagles winning the Super Bowl. The Eagles came out to Meek Mill for that Super Bowl against the backdrop of Donald Trump calling NFL players SOBs and them on their way to running Colin Kaepernick out of the league. They ran Colin Kaepernick out of the league. He had called them SOBs. I believe there were only 2 owners that didn't sign that letter, or were the last to sign that letter. I can't remember exactly which was Jerry Jones and Dan Snyder. Jerry Jones and Dan Snyder. When it comes to owners that were the most in bed with Trump, Dan Snyder was in a race against every other owner. And when the Eagles won that Super Bowl, they decided they were going to stand on business. So what we have here is a team that's willing to stand up for each other when it comes to him disparaging NFL players, willing to stand up for the idea of social justice, willing to stand up to the president when he characterizes us a certain way, willing to stand on business. And you have another team that is doing anything they possibly can to curry favor with a man who doesn't respect me as a whole human being and has done everything he can to erode my civil rights. But I'm supposed to ride with Team B because I was born in D.C. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, so I'm supposed to ride with them because my mother decided she didn't want to go another 200 miles up 95. That's so I gotta be with Dan Snyder and them because she got off at this exit. That, you know. All right. Anyway, that would have been a whole lot. If we had a show, that would have been a whole lot. I am in recovery right now. I am trying to put the pieces of my fandom back together, but it is not easy. Especially when his godforsaken name is still on this team, and he only named him that to curry favor with Trump. because we want to honor the military, because apparently there's not enough military in football as it is. We will, why can't we have a flyover every day? For first downs, have a flyover and let them drop flyers. But all right, that was Nancy's fault. That was Nancy's fault. Nancy did that. That was Nancy's fault. That's not my fault. That one was not my fault. That Nancy did that. Trump selling gold cards. I mean, he's sold everything else. He's sold everything else. So thank you, TMFJ. I appreciate you. Thank you, CR. Thank you. Marva, welcome. Very happy to have you. Regina said, almost had to pull over. MSNBC got rid of all the BIPOC that went hard on Gaza. Eamon's show also got canceled. Well, there you go. That might make a very interesting video. That will probably get buried and shut. That'll make a really good video that'll get buried in the algorithm. Oh, so true, Trump. Yeah. I mean, that's why Elon has the power he has right now, because he gave him all that money. I wish you had about the Eagles. Yeah. What are you going to do? Yeah, thanks. I'm so glad. I am too, Ariel. Thank you for being here. Ariel, I appreciate you. Thank you. Andrea's Magic. Thank you so much. Thank you. Cascar, just ordered my first never defeated t-shirt. Oh, thank you, Cascar. Thank you. See, if I was wise, I would have on my own merch right now, but I'm not. But if you guys, I think we got the sponsored by racism. I got this on a mug and on a t-shirt. We got trouble. I got my little trouble wall. I got some stuff here. But yeah, we got the never defeated t-shirts. So you guys check that out. All right. Miss Ray, I got so much stuff to go through. Okay. Okay. I almost reached out to Regina and I told her, pull over. Almost reached out to when I saw the MAGA reaction to Joy Reid show being canceled. I wanted to go in on them. So bad. And I especially did because these are people who always want to call themselves, they always want to get into some sort of purity test about their faith and their religion, despite having such ignorance of it and the tenets of it. They always want to talk about their religion when it's convenient. And then this is how they behave. I was right about to do that. And then I had to ask myself, because I'm a man of integrity. I try and be. Not a 10. Not a 10. But, I try and be. But because I'm a man of integrity, I had to ask myself, how would you behave? How would you behave in this moment if the shoe was on the other foot? Like that. I mean, that's what I would do. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. I can clap back just, for the sport of it. But I really don't have no higher point to make about where you took it, because you still go to church and you would have been on Megyn Kelly helmet. Matter of fact, you was on Megyn Kelly helmet when she got canceled. So I can't really. Yeah, they would have got it. They would have got it. They would have, because if Laura Ingraham lost her show today, if I see a headline that says Laura Ingraham lost her show, hey, yeah, we going in, and I'ma go hard, I would have, bro. What I would do if Laura Ingraham lost her show. So I said I can't do that. I can't do that. But what I would say though, it is a bit interesting that Megyn Kelly, again, I said the thing earlier about how low the bar is, right? Megyn Kelly has tried to be the leader in the clubhouse for dunking on Joy Reid when she very famously got canned and fired out of NBC. Does she think we forgot? Like, oh, weird to me. Like, why would you? I just, people have no honor. You know what I mean? People have no honor at all. I'm like, if you got publicly fired like that, because you got a lot of money, you were so objectionable that they gave you all that money just to go away. That was, I'm telling you, you know how bad it gotta be for them to give you that money to go away. That is like Rona McDaniel level. You know what I mean? Rona McDaniel level. They give you that money to go away. Always, because it was always funny to me. You ever see where they bring in somebody, a team will bring in an athlete, and then they'll give him money. They'll tell him just to stay home. They ain't gonna trade him. They ain't gonna cut him. They just like, yo, just chill. You know what I mean? Just work out in the driveway, man. Just, you know what I mean? Hey, we gonna send some trainers over to your home, and we gonna put a hoop up in your backyard. And you know what I mean? Just put yourself through a workout. You know what I mean? A couple times a day. No, we'll pay you. We got you. We'll pay you. Just, you know what I mean? Just do you. You know what I mean? Just do you. Like, you know how bad it gotta be. They don't even want you on the bench. They don't even want you on the bench. They don't want you in the building. That's what NBC did to Rona McDaniel and Megyn Kelly. Now, notice, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm going to assume Rona McDaniel ain't saying nothing. Okay? Rona McDaniel ain't saying nothing. She sat there, she counted her money, she eating her food. Because she know they paid her to take shots in the driveway. I'ma chill. Megyn Kelly think we forgot? You think we forgot? They paid you to do wind sprints in the yard at home. And you want to come for Joy Reid? At least they kept her on air for a long time. I don't understand people. If they paid me all that money, to do cone drills at the crib, I will mind my business. You know what I mean? I will mind my business. But, it's not for everybody, I guess. Common sense ain't common. Common sense is not common. All right, what else do I want to get to? I ain't gonna get to all this stuff. All right, okay. How come I'm gonna have to go scattershot to get through all this? But let me ask you a question. This is what we talking about media blackout. And Miss Ray, your boy got a theme. Here we go. We keep it on the theme of media blackout. Why the media not talking about Elon's baby mamas and Grimes looking for him when they got an emergency and all that? I'm hearing something about DMs and something they got going on. Why the media not talking about that? Why is the media not talking about that? And I want you to come up with your answer. Come up with your answer. And then I want to ask you. How big a deal it would have been if it happened to Kamala Harris. Go ahead. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Reese Waters, YouTuber, pops out on Blue Sky to say that he and Kamala Harris just had a baby. Now, obviously, there's some gender differences because obviously she couldn't hide it. Like she couldn't hide it the same. But let's just go with it. Let's just go with it. Reese Waters popped out on Blue Sky, said he and Kamala Harris baby. Would they have covered that? Would they have covered that? Now, you could tell me, well, I think there's some gender differences, right? Because there's a gender double standard between men and women, right? There's a gender double standard between men and women. You know, men are just allowed to just hit the street. You know, it's not really an indication of a man's character, right? A man can wild out and still be a good person, but with a woman, you know, the choices that she makes in her bedroom is just so indicative of her values and who she is. Wasn't y'all just talking about how mannish Kamala Harris was, wasn't y'all? Because she was mannish before. Y'all were talking about how she wears all these pantsuits and Sarah Huckabee Sanders talking about how she's not a real mother because she got she mannish. She's mannish when you needed her to be mannish. But then just a weak woman when you needed her to be weak, then she was a woman. Right? What Jesse Waters said, she would be paralyzed while the generals had their way. Mm-hmm. That's just fascinating to me. That's just fascinating to me. I never knew. You know, I'm like, there are people so much further down the totem pole than shadow president that I would think it was newsworthy if either a baby popped up or another co-parent was looking for them because they had gone media blackout when their child needed help. I would think Jasmine, yeah, I'm glad you brought her up, DOD. You think that would be news if it was Jasmine Crockett? You think that would be news if it was Jasmine Crockett? Well, Elon Musk, it ain't news. That's crazy. We got going on. I did talk about in the membership space. I did a video about the Fanbase situation with Francesca Ramsey. Those of you who don't know, Francesca. Matter of fact, before I get to that, let me hit you guys. Robin, you just thank you, Robin. I appreciate that, Robin. I appreciate you. Brooklyn Buddha. Brooklyn Buddha looks like the kind of person we could use over at Way of Waters. By the way, I got a Way of Waters video dropping tomorrow. So if you guys haven't followed, where's my little scroll from Way of Waters? You guys haven't gotten to Way of Waters. I have a video dropping tomorrow. All the things that I've learned since I've been back from my retreat. So you guys can be on the lookout for that. Did you see the Army choir before? Do you hear the people sing for Trump? I didn't. No, Maria, I missed that. I gotta check that out. Thank you, Maria. I did see that they're going to have the J6ers perform at the Kennedy Center. Some balls you got to just let pass. You know what I mean? Some balls, you can't. Yeah, we can't swing at every pitch here. Giants fan here, right there with you, rooting for the Eagles in this crazy world. Yeah. Hey, y'all pray for Brooklyn Buddha. Y'all pray for Brooklyn Buddha because y'all don't know what they're going through as a Giants fan. It's bad. It's bad. The Giants got their fans finding spirituality. Got them looking for Nirvana. They meditate to deal with the season they had. Thank you, Brooklyn Buddha. I appreciate you. I did not even crip walk when Tucker Carlson and Bill O'Reilly lost their jobs. Yeah. It's time for Laura. It's time for Laura to join them. But, we'll see. We'll see. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Thank you. Bella Fine, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Bella Fine. Thank you. The House just passed Trump's budget plan, which will cut Medicaid. Deshauna, I will, as soon as I'm out of here, look into that. Matter of fact, let's see. Hey, what channel I put on? Are we on MSNBC Blackout right now? Let's see. This is a good segue, actually. I got Rachel Maddow on right now. This is a pretty good segue. Doge quietly deletes the 5 biggest spending cuts it celebrated last week. I'm telling you. This is subterfuge on easy level. Like they not even trying. What's your take on Canada boycotting American goods in the trade war? Hey, do you, Canada? Do you? They done disrespect y'all. Do you, Canada? I stand with round bacon. Do you address the video of Dump and Husk and HUD? I didn't, but I did post it on Instagram. But no, I didn't. If you guys don't know what and top it off is talking about, go ahead to my Instagram. Reese, I took the pressure off you and provided a response for the MAGA cult. I appreciate you, Felicia. I snipped somebody. I don't know how long they've been going, but somebody ain't make it. It might have been. No, I was gonna say it might have been friendly fire. It was not. Did you hear about Musk's Big Ball's protege grandfather was a double Russian KGB agent that was the lead, and his family came? I didn't. I did not. Okay, Lee. Yeah, I appreciate that. Y'all done gave me some homework. Y'all done gave me some homework. Okay, let me end here. I did so to that video that Keith Boykin posted talking about black media and black content creators and things like that. I did a video about a members video about the Fanbase situation with Francesca Ramsey. Those of you who don't know, Fanbase founded by Isaac Hayes III, who has been in a war of words with Francesca Ramsey, and who is the woman who came up with the "I Never Thought the Leopards Would Eat My Face" song. I've used her on my videos quite a bit. I talked a lot. I mean, I talked quite a bit about it in that members video. Just to summarize, I find his approach to the entire thing to be beneath somebody who's representing an app and investors' money, and it will definitely influence how I spend my time and my money, because I don't want anything wrapped up. If he's willing to crash out now, like, why would I put myself in a position where my investment is vulnerable to what crash out he might have? That doesn't make any sense. But the other thing is that I think that there's a conversation to be had about the pro-blackosphere, if I want to call it that, because in general, I find what, not Fanbase as an app specifically, but what it represents in terms of a black-owned app that is trying to empower black voices. Whether it does that or not, I don't know. I don't have it. But that's the way that he has characterized the app, right? It's not being represented. The ideals that you're saying that it represents don't bear themselves out with how you are moving right now. But the idea that it represents is one that I want to support. But what happens when that support clearly comes at odds with, you wanting to support a black app in this way, comes at odds with the bigger ideals of supporting black empowerment. Those things are not necessarily the same, and they can diverge, which was a lot of her issues with supporting Fanbase, right? But then you also have the point that by this thing becoming public, you kind of continue to segment this world and this space, which needs as much positivity and support as it can garner in general, but also now, right? To keep Boykin's point about black creators and supporting black creators and people that are trying to speak truth to power, it's an interesting world to navigate, because I can tell you that there are not, you don't necessarily have to love everybody else who's in this space. I don't. But what I can tell you is, I don't air my grievances. I don't take the idea of airing grievances in that space lightly, because I understand what it means from the outside to have that going on, right? And then further, people's reluctance to air those things publicly can be weaponized. Okay. The conversation that people have about Sean King all the time ultimately boils down to, why are you guys taking shots at somebody who's trying to help Black people? You're hurting the movement. Yes, but he's hiding behind his pro-Blackness, and the people that are contributing to him are Black. So I'm continuing to let him victimize Black people by not saying anything. That's the, you know what I mean? That's the, and around we go. That's kind of like the so you just have to be very careful and be very purposeful when you decide to air these things publicly, if you decide to air these things publicly, right? Last but not least, I'm going to be doing a whole lot more. I had a lot more to say about that that I said in that video, but we are getting short on time, and I want to hit it. So one of the things that came out of the Steve Bannon video was him talking about techno-feudalism, right? This idea that there's an effort on behalf of the tech bros to reconstruct society so that we are more and more dependent upon the space as represented digitally that they provide for us. And that we are losing more and more freedom. Kind of parallel to that is this idea of there being a very intentional effort to sabotage society as it exists, in order to reconstruct it in the image of the powers that be. And I say parallel to it because we are more and more reliant upon the space that they provide, right? Those are two ideas, and I'm going to do more there. I'm going to do more there. I'm obviously, I'm gonna get, you know what I mean? Byron Donald's gonna get this smoke, and I'm a Harlem Shake next time Jasmine Crockett address Elon Musk the way he should be addressed. I'm not missing. I ain't missing. I ain't missing no jokes. And I ain't missing no slander. I'm just saying that is a space that I really want to explore, because the more I see how blind, deaf, and dumb this administration continues to be to not only the issues that confront the country, but specifically the issues that confront their base directly. That tells me that there is something else afoot. This is not the old partisan this is not the old partisan game that we used to play. I mean, I think they played the partisan game to get here, right? But they turned on Latinos, they turned on the working class, they turned on farmers so fast it ain't even March. It ain't even March. He turned on so much of his base so fast. To me, these not the same left-right games anymore, right? that tells me that there's more afoot, and we need to pay attention to it. It also tells me that one of the things that I have asserted is that the ball is in MAGA's court to act in their own best interest and have the resistance reach a critical mass. The ball's in their court. If we had the numbers, Kamala Harris would be in office right now. If we had the numbers. Okay. But the ball's in MAGA's court to start pushing this rock up the hill. I never thought, lips within my face. I never thought that he would have turned on them this quick. At all. I think it was going to be this fast. You see what some of these poll numbers are doing? You see what some of these poll numbers look like? He turned on them quickly, which means the game done started. The game done started. I said the ball was in your court, but it is even more. It is even more incumbent upon them to move, motivate, and mobilize than I thought. Now it's brutal to be depending on people who didn't see the writing on the wall in November. I know. It's brutal to be dependent upon people who didn't see the writing on the wall. I know. Yeah. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And I also want to know why, and this is where we come with media blackout. See what I did? You see what I did, Ms. Ray? See what I did, Ms. Ray? So Joy Reid was black media. How Real to Keep It was black media. Elon Musk and the BMs was media blackout. Fanbase discussion was black media. Accelerating society's demise, media blackout. Bam! Bam! What y'all want to do? Huh? What y'all want to do? Huh? How you want to carry it? Well, how you want to carry it then? Bam! All right. Everything that I have seen about techno-feudalism, everything that I've seen about this sabotage of society, everything I've seen about, Curtis Yarvin and all this kind of, everything I have seen. I think I might have seen something on Rachel Maddow one time. But it's all been online. Why is this not the conversation that's being had? Yes, revel in FAFO. Heck, I did. I know. Revel in FAFO. Okay. But also ask the question why this might be happening and to what end. That part, I have not. That's the conversation. Like, what are they doing? What are they doing and why? That part. That's the part that blows my mind. Okay. Let's see. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Much appreciated. Rolling out the red carpet for the Russian oligarchs. Is there really anything else to say? I can't believe that you see. I'm sure you did. You saw that they voted against that resolution to denounce Russia's invasion. Us and Russia. Us and Russia. Yeah. There was something else. Something else that I wanted to. You made me think of something. I totally forgot it. Hopefully, I'll be reminded of it. Cathcart. I'm a native too. I'm with Brooklyn Buddha. Y'all need to get a yoga class or something like that. Get a meditation circle for Giants fans. Y'all just form a circle around those them Daniel Jones jerseys. They so trash. I love it. They so trash. Oh my gosh. The Giants ain't been this trash my whole life. This is the most trash y'all been. Oh man. The Cowboys was trash when I was growing up. In the 80s, they were trash. That's how they ended up getting the dynasty in the 90s. In the 80s, they was trash. The Eagles, the Eagles at least have been mostly decent. The Eagles and Giants have been mostly decent. They had bad years. Eagles and Giants have been mostly decent for my whole life, if I'm being totally honest. I ain't never seen y'all this trash. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Oh. All St. Nick's dreams are James happy. I'm surprised at your list. Old soul. Oh, okay. Alternative Stevie Nicks. Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm that old of a soul, Miss Social, but I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that. We did have the numbers. Republicans suppress votes. See Greg Palast. I do need to look at that. Thank you, Snack Panther. I do need to look at that. A bunch of people have sent that. My aunt sent me a video of you, and I've been hooked ever since. First timer. We on Lock Nation. Thank you. And make sure you thank your aunt. So thank you to you, and thank you to your aunt. And here is the White House press secretary, and I will never be able to see her and not think Skipper. She gonna be Skipper forever now. Somebody will say, not even Barbie, Skipper? Yeah. All right, Regina, remember at first the Afrikaners said they weren't interested in the refugee offer. Now they're lining up. I wonder what changed. That is a good question to ask. That is a very good question to ask. She said she did submit the article about them lining up for that. All right. Supporting economic blackout 228. Yeah, I can support that. I can support that. Does that mean I can't put no videos out? Let me read the fine print. I support it in theory. Let me read the fine print. But it really don't matter if I put videos out or not, because the videos that are existing will still be. All right. Miss Social. What did I say? What did I say in that video? I said, there was a video where I said, somebody said, I'm glad you asked that question. Said, thank you so much. That's an excellent question. I'm glad you asked that. And I was like, that is code for let me buy time. I'm just going to say words and buy time because I have no idea how to respond to what you just said. So, Miss Social, thank you so much for that. That is an excellent question. That is a really good question. And I am so glad that you asked it. I very much appreciate I very much appreciate that, and that is an excellent question. All right, let me go ahead and go. I will have something for you guys tomorrow. We either going to Cincinnati or we going to Florida. One of the two. Whichever one doesn't come out tomorrow, presumably will come out on Thursday. So be on the lookout for that. We will have some member stuff coming up too. So those of you that are members, be on the lookout for that. And I'll have a Way of Waters video dropping tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that as well. I was extremely concerned. I don't like to record videos on days that I do a live because it can be rough on my voice. We made it. Mostly. I have a bunch of things to read right now, but we made it. Thank you for being here. 80% Prime. Thank you for being here. Marjorie Stevens. Yes, you did make it. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being a member. Shirley Lavender. Thank you for being a member. Thank you for coming here. Wayne, I appreciate you for joining. Welcome. 80%. Thank you for that. TP, as always, thank you. Steph, so glad that you are here. Welcome to Ken. Thank you to Tips. As always, shout out to Elise. Thank you to Mish MC. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you, Giggles. Thank you to Larry, as always. Shout out, still making it rain. I guess he had a little change left over from the premiere. Thank you to Eugenia. Welcome to Asia. Thank you to BG. Thank you to Elise. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you to Dalioops. Daria as well. La, 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 la. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Alessia. I think it's Alessia. Okay. Thank you, Alessia. And I'm going to try and read that like I got some sense next time. I care too. Thank you very much. Cascart, welcome. Thank you, Tony P. Thank you, Salima. Thank you, El Gato. And by the way, if you got a gifted membership, make sure you thank your sponsor, as Ms. Ray says all the time. Thank you to Robin. Aracelis, thank you. Welcome, Martis. Thank you, Snack Panther. Welcome, Kitsoon. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Felinda. Thank you, Kitsoon. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, KO Surge. Thank you, TMFJ. Thank you, CR. Welcome to Marva. Of course, we are so happy that Regina's here, one of the people who helps me on the reg. Thank you to Ariel. Andrea, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Andrea. Welcome, Brooklyn Buddha. And now welcome to Robin. Thank you to Maria. Let's see. Thank you to Bella. Thank you. Thank you to Shauna. Thank you, Arrow. Thank you, Top It Off. Thank you, Felicia. Thank you, Lee. Thank you to Jason. Thank you, Jason. He got the bright red joints for the Russian oligarchs. That was a banner. He got lucky there. And he joined. So thank you to Jason. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Miss Social, thank you. We on Lock Nation, thank you to you and to your aunt. Thank you, Bernadette. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I think that was since I started. Thank you for that. Thank you to Julie. Thank you so much, Julie. I appreciate you. Thank you to TMFJ. Thank you very much for that. We need more Sporty Waters news. I thought about doing that. Like just do like a sports channel. I thought about doing that. I just have to mind my bandwidth. I mean, it's all I can do is just videos on my phone. that would be the bandwidth I could do right now. But thank you, Geach. I appreciate it. Cass Carr said, I'm a ride or die New Yorker. I do miss New York. I always like New York content. New York's always going to be my second favorite place. That's where I've spent most of my adult life is New York City. For now. I think another couple years it'll be DC again. But son, right now it's New York dead ass. So There we have it. See, I'm losing it. I never had a New York accent. I'm not a native, so I don't have to vouch that way. I'm not capable. Thank y'all for joining me on the show. Thank y'all for joining me for this live. Of course, be sure to subscribe to the page, turn on notifications, and like the live. Thank you to Miss Ray and to Dank for modding. I very much appreciate you guys. So be on the lookout tomorrow, probably in the 2-3 range p.m. Be on the lookout for that. But much love. And of course, tomorrow I'll also have a video on the Joy Waters channel. So if you guys have not gotten a chance to subscribe to Joy Waters, you can be on the lookout for that one as well. But want to say, I just this was fun. This was a fun live. You guys made it fun. So I appreciate you for being here. And Lucette at the buzzer. Thank you for that, Lucette. Very much appreciate you guys. All right. I'll see you guys at the premiere tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and your sister, whatever Jerry Springer used to say. You know, those were the days.